Hello, my name is Ron Raffensperger, and I'm with Huawei Technologies. I'm actually based in Shenzhen, China, and I am a CTO for our digital transformation for financial services companies. Um, Huawei has historically had a lot of customers in the financial services industry, but as the industry has changed, we've added a lot of capabilities, and particularly in the relationship with cloud computing and AI. And Huawei now has one of the most advanced AI systems that is available to the public, and we are expanding that to countries around the world. So today I want to give you a little bit of a background about some of what we think is coming, some of the things that we are doing, and also as well some examples. We really have some exciting things that our customers are doing with our AI platform. And I'm very happy to be able to share that with you. So first of all, I think we need to understand what's driving the issues around AI. And that is that for financial services. And that is that the way that the financial services business is evolving, particularly as it relates to our customers, is really changing quite a lot. So historically, particularly for mobile kinds of applications, it was just focused around regular financial services. And, you know, we started out with having internet access and people were pretty much just mimicking the actions of a teller. And what that has now changed is when you have smartphones and you use mobile applications, you want to be able to do things in a mobile fashion. It also, all of our customers are being essentially trained by the online services, whether it's Yandex or other services, to be able to use digital mobile applications as the way that they advance. For banks and financial services companies, there's a huge opportunity here to be able to offer new kinds of services and then also to build an ecosystem of capabilities that will integrate the bank's services with services from other suppliers. And so the bank really becomes embedded within what's happening in people's lives. So the concept of banking anywhere, but not at a bank, is really what is driving a lot of this. And when you start to develop and collect all of the information that the users are making available to you through this ecosystem, then it's very capable of using AI and big data kinds of capabilities to create the new kinds of services, new kinds of offerings, and really be able to extend the usage into the supply chain, into new kinds of financing and trade financing. All sorts of new business models are are able to be implemented by going with this usage of the big data and AI. So how is Huawei doing that? Well, one is that Huawei is a major contributor to the growth of 5G around the world. We have in many, many countries, Huawei's in more than 170 countries, and many of those we are providing the 5G infrastructure. And what we're finding is that the use cases for 5G require much more use of AI algorithms, and they also require the ability to be able to have computing, particularly AI inference, out much closer to the users. So as an example, we have the ability to have an AI box that sits next to a series of video cameras, and we can do all sorts of analysis of the images that are within that. everything from checking are people wearing their masks to actually watching the process flow. And as part of that, we also now can expand to the as intelligent automobiles are created. We have many more kinds of smart devices. So this concept of the edge cloud is really made possible by the growth of 5G as an available service because its key characteristics are the amount of bandwidth it can handle, but much more importantly, the very, very low latency and the massive numbers of devices that can be connected. So these are all the different kinds of foundation that can help financial services companies as well as companies in other industries. But it's really necessary to be able to use AI as part of this. So to provide this foundation, Huawei has created what we consider to be essentially an AI value chain for the big data. So as more and more devices are being included within this, and we get all of this data, as I mentioned before, but the challenge is to be able to do something intelligent with that data. And so Huawei has created a platform that has a few key pieces. Some of them are based on open source. Huawei is a very large contributor to open source projects, things like Stream and particularly around containers as well. And so and the whole Hadoop environment. And so what we have done is we've created a data lake system. The primary components are a Hadoop compatible storage and processing system, and also some specialized databases. One we call the Gauss DB is a massively parallel database that allows for scaling out to up to like exabytes of data, and then also the ability to be able to have the usage of the integrated within that set of capabilities. We also have a customized graph database, which is particularly useful for relationships, and we'll see this very much in use for financial services companies in the area of fraud detection, risk prevention, and also within the things like insurance. So what we can do is take all of the different kinds of structured and unstructured data, including real-time streams, and be able to put it into this data lake and into these databases, and be able to actually then analyze it. And the way that we analyze it is with the AI modeling. So Huawei has chip designs that are very good for being able to create AI models, both for training as well as for inference. And these can be scaled up to huge sizes for national weather sizes of systems, or scaled down to be used in normal usage. And that's why we normally put these as part of a cloud computing environment. So as a result of this, you can train the models on huge quantities of data, and then use inference to actually run it in real time to be able to apply the rules to what your staff is doing, or have it automatically do things like risk control, different kinds of security. One of our customers, a very large bank, took all of their log files and put it into this environment. And as a result, they actually were able to find when they had abnormal kinds of activities, and found that they had some internal problems with people accessing the data that they probably shouldn't have. So this kind of use case is quite powerful, utilizing these tools. Looking now at a couple of the different solutions that Huawei would like to highlight. This is one that is from China. And one of the challenges for small farmers in rural areas of China is that they don't have credit histories. So even though maybe 190 million customers have some kind of a credit history, there's more than 300 that don't. And that's a combination of factors. One is that historically, the banks have only been interested in doing secured loans for farmers, which is a challenge because in China, much of the rural farming land is collectively owned. So the farmer can't really get a loan on the land. They have to get a loan on a house, or maybe they have a house in a city that they could put up as collateral. But a lot of that is really difficult. And so what has happened now is that Huawei, working with one of our partners, has taken the inputs from 60 different satellites, all kinds of satellites, including things that can measure surface temperature, things that can see cloud formations and rain patterns, and this sort of thing. And actually, there are now some satellites that can do the very high resolution color sensing. And so as a result of that, then what the banks can now do by accessing this system is, first of all, they can look at all of the different land conditions that exist for the plot of land that the farmer is going to be working on, and then get an estimate of, based on the historical yield patterns of which crops they're looking at in that particular area, then be able to so an initial size of the loan can be calculated, and then while the growing season is going on, then the satellite imagery can be used to evaluate the crop growing cycle, what the health of the crop is, and as a result of that, the credit line can be dynamically adjusted, either up or of course slightly down. But what you want, of course, is for the farmer to see the results of careful planting and culturing. And so as a result of this, then when the farmer pays the loan back, then now more credit history has been created. And the whole concept of financial inclusion really has helped, because now the farmer has established a credit history. They can start to have loans for other kinds of things as well. So this has really improved the way that farmers can get access to loans up to about 50,000 US dollars, and and not have to put up their houses or their kids' houses or their cars. And so the kind of precision in this solution is really been able to help to expand the goal of moving people out of poverty. The second one is an insurance company in South Africa, which is called Discovery. They're, I believe, the largest insurer in South Africa. And Huawei has partnered with them, utilizing our platform, a cloud-based solution called High Health, which takes input from smart devices like your phones or smart watches and smart devices, treadmills, whatever, and puts all of that together to help build a health management platform that Discovery can use to be able to analyze, and as a result, incent their policyholders to be able to change their lifestyle to be able to be more healthy. And as a result, they've come up with a really good solution, which is, okay, we'll charge you like you have normal health. If you prove to us that you have good health habits and you're exercising and getting good sleep, and your stress levels are down, and then we will give you rebates, and so you'll get some money back. And so over time, you see really tangible benefits of changing your lifestyle to be healthier. And so it's really a win-win for everybody as part of this. And they call this their Vitality Active Award, and they do a lot of advertising as well as promotions through social media, so that people can put on their social media feeds little trophies of their activities and that sort of thing. It's very good use of social engineering. And the next one is around the securities. So Huawei has created a huge model system that can take over 100 billion parameters. And we have trained that model on huge quantities of video, of images, of audio. And all of this is what we call Pangu as a model. And so we've worked with this securities firm to take all of the information that they have about fraud and about different kinds of investments and their performance, and put that all together in this with the Pangu models and some and to go through the machine learning process. And the result has been that they were able to model almost exactly the companies that were in trouble or were investigated as part of the securities regulator in China. And so they now can use that to predict the different kinds of problems with their customers and also with the companies that they're investing in. And so a very good use of this huge amount of information that we've created as part of the Pangu model. The final one is China Merchants Bank. They took our data lake, which we as a collective group of capabilities called Fusion Insight. And they took all of their information from their mobile channels, from their websites, from social media, different things like I've connected my bank account to these e-commerce sites. I've had these kinds of transactions and that sort of thing. And as well as calls into their call center. And they put all of that together into this Fusion Insight data lake, which has, as part of it, our massively parallel database that we call GaussDB. And then they've used our AI platform, which we call Model Arts, which has a lot of tools for graphical modeling, for drag and drop use of training and that sort of thing. So as a result, then they have a decision output that can allow them to very accurately determine in real time, which is unusual. We worked with them as a joint development project for quite a long time to be able to tune the data lake and the AI inference to be able to provide real-time results. And the overall result for China merchants has been pretty impressive. They believe that they've saved millions of dollars of which otherwise would have been lost through fraud. Their risk number of cases has declined by 83%, and their handling capacity, because it's now fully automated for all cases, has gone up by 10 times. And they believe that their total coverage is now at least 10% better than it was, because they can take a lot more information in than they could previously. So I hope that has given you a flavor for some of the things that Huawei is doing in AI and financial services, and allowed you to see some of the capabilities that we've built into our platform, so that we're able to provide for the financial services industry the kinds of tools and the kinds of capabilities that will allow AI to become intimately involved in financial services to improve for the customer's experience, as well as the performance of the banks. Thank you very much.